Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what do you genuinely not understand? Why I continue to procrastinate and self-sabotage. Edit. Thanks for all the awards and comments. Just wanted to say a few things. This was not supposed to be a cry for help. I am fine, just was in a bad mood yesterday when I posted. Yes, I have had depression and anxiety. Anyone who suggested that maybe the cause is correct. I am on meds. They help a ton. If this comment rang true to anyone, I would definitely recommend seeing a mental health professional. It can make a world of difference. Anyone who suggested it's because I'm lazy, not disciplined, or any other /r/that's impure type nonsense, you can go fuck yourself. Let's find that out later. I will. But first, let me check Reddit. Quick answer: because thinking about or doing the things that you procrastinate creates anxiety, boredom, and / or discomfort. You naturally try to avoid these experiences in the moment by procrastinating, even though the long-term consequences are usually worse. Short-term consequences usually have a bigger impact on our behavior. So what do you do to beat this pattern? One step is to attempt to tolerate / allow discomfort while doing the thing. You'll develop more of a tolerance for the discomfort and will get more efficient with doing the thing. This is not easy, but it gets easier and you'll usually be more satisfied with your actions. There's no right answer, but this is the right answer. This is totally due to me not looking it up, but I don't know how dry cleaning works. Understandable, it's a liquid, like a solvent, that is water-free. Oh, I thought it was called dry cleaning cause they dried it up afterwards. The order of emails in a Gmail thread. The one you are looking for is always hidden somewhere in the middle. I used to look at the date / time of each message in a thread to orient myself until I started working with an international team and realized Gmail sometimes puts their timestamp on the message, not mine. The realizatio came when I was going through a chain and noticed half the messages were sent from the future. Edit. I couldn't in good conscience use realizatio and realized in the same sentence. My apologies to the gods of prose. Chemistry. I only passed because my professor curved every F to AC. You gotten. My best friend has her PhD in organic chemistry and she gave me her dissertation in a bound book. Made the mistake of opening it once and was like, what the hell, this is all gibberish. Edit. Love all the responses. I checked and it turns out her PhD is actually in inorganic chemistry. My bad Kels. Yay, I have a master's in mathematics and have read a few dissertations and some published research. Half of the work is using words I've never even seen before and the other half is in Martian hieroglyphics. It was at that point I said no and left my PhD program with a master's. When you get that high of level, you have to have very specialized language that only people in your subsection really know the meaning and significance of. As a chemist, I would probably feel the same if I read it too. Sudden motivation at midnight. I've read that it's due to there being no pressure or thoughts of what could go wrong. This is due to the fact that the motivation is typically for things that would be in the future or carry over into the future, and there is no reason to start or finish the things being thought of at that moment. Makes sense. I've always associated successful people with the lack of fear of failure. Why does the word fridge have the letter D in it, while refrigerator does not? Fuck this shit, I didn't realize that. I only know it because I've typed refrigerator and gotten the squiggly red line about a million times lol. Fridge as we know it was likely spoken out loud well before it was written. At first, some people did write it as frig as well, but it's thought fridge ended up being used to follow the pattern of other English words, for example, bridge. So what you're really saying is, bridge is short for refrigerator. How these dogs that have these dense bangs hanging over their eyes can see a single goddamn thing. Ask the emo kids. I worked with a guy who used to have emo side bags in high school. He told me he couldn't see shit for 2 years. I work with dogs, and there's a family with 2 Maltese. One they keep very trim with no bangs around the eyes. The other one they keep with very long, dense bangs. It took me a while to realize that the one with bangs had no eyes. They keep the bangs long because it's less alarming and people don't ask as many questions. Almeo. Like Mac from Old Friends Senior Dog Sanctuary. They had an iconic reply to a comment lamenting how the poor thing couldn't see anything because they don't trim his bangs. Mac has no eyes. That no concept of an absolute position in space exists. Oh, for fuck's sake. My day was going so well. Thanks for that. If it helps, we have lots of guideposts. Pulsars spin very consistently and we have documented and mapped out a lot of them. We can use these as place markers to orient ourselves if we ever become a galaxy-faring species, big if there. Edit, faring, because I'm an idiot. And the point of space you are in right now, you will never occupy again. Not tomorrow when the Earth rotates. Not next year on the same day of the same month. Not ever. That is why one of the biggest problems of time travel would be not when, but where you are going. If you travel 6 months back in time you would end up in the middle of space, because the Earth would be on the other side of the Sun. Bitcoin mining. Solving algorithms. What? Who? Why? Imagine if keeping your car idling 24/7 produced solved Sudokus you could trade for heroin. Edit, my friends, I paraphrased this from something I read years ago and the original source is apparently a tweet. I am not comfortable with all these awards. Space, it makes my brain hurt trying to figure out things like stars and black holes etc. The size and distances with space are hard to fathom. The time it takes to get anywhere is depressing. Oh, you mean the whole concept of being frozen on a spaceship in your mid-20s to wake up 200 years later, hopefully, outside Jupiter and realizing everyone you knew is dead. Why the fuck does my brain only realize I'm wrong after I've already done it? And why is the time between hitting send and realizing that was dumb measured in femtoseconds? It's weird since you didn't see anything wrong with it after spending 10 minutes proofreading and worrying about how the other end will interpret the message. Edit, then you send it and realize that you fucked up somehow. Why do people who seem miserable as parents decide to have more kids? I'd like to direct this question towards the parents I currently nanny for. The father clearly doesn't like his kids, has said before he never even wanted kids, and yet they have three children that are quite honestly some of the worst behaved kids I've ever worked with, and I've been working with kids in and out of a school setting going on 15 years now. Why didn't you stop after the first one? Wife wants kids, has an unloving husband but thinks it's too late to start over. Husband who doesn't want kids wants to give his wife something to keep her busy because being married is a part of his image and social standing, and makes enough money he figures wife and nanny can raise kids without him being involved too much. Wife is happy each time a baby is born, but quickly resets to the base level of unhappiness she normally has in her marriage. Continues to have more hoping to eventually fill the void, but unsurprisingly loses interest in her kids as well because they are band-aids for her misery, not fixes. Nanny proceeds to raise kids alone, wife starts a daytime affair and calls it going to the gym. Husband doesn't care because his nighttime affair is called working late. That's the waspiest version I could imagine for you. How light is both a particle and a wave? It's neither. It's something that we don't have a word for and that doesn't exist in a way that we can sense directly. But this unnamed thing happens to act in a way similar to a wave in some situations and like a particle in others. A cylinder will roll like a sphere in one direction but not roll like a cube in the other. That doesn't make it a sphere and a cube at the same time. It makes it something different. Edit, thanks for all the awards. Edit 2. To answer the many why don't we name it then, or we do have a name for it, it's light/photons/something else comments. The problem isn't the lack of a word, the problem is how to convey the meaning behind the word. Plus typo fixes. Do you know how fast you were going? Heisberg, Schrödinger, and Omar in a car and they get pulled over. Heisberg is driving and the cop asks him, do you know how fast you were going? No, but I know exactly where I am, Heisberg replies. The cop says you were doing 55 in a 35. Heisberg throws up his hands and shouts, great. Now I'm lost. The cop thinks this is suspicious and orders him to pop open the trunk. He checks it out and says, do you know you have a dead cat back here? We do now, asshole. Shouts Schrödinger. The cop moves to arrest them. Ohm resists. Not my joke but thought you would enjoy it. My version has a string theory student in the back seat who says, officer, I can explain everything. The YouTube algorithm. Let's recommend this video to everyone. In 5 years. And again 5 years later. Also this shit. YouTube, you can't say anything R-rated. Also YouTube, Can you feel the difference between a dildo and a real cock? Edit, holy shit, this blew the fuck up. RIP my inbox. Asterisk at work watching YouTube videos. Ad begins, there is a bacteria called Laculicaceae and it can make your balls bigger. Asterisk me and my horrified co-workers waiting for a funny cat video. Here's a very interesting video that explains this in a fun and easy way. Long story short, nobody knows how the YouTube algorithm, or any similar algorithm, works. It just does.